Having learned borders, padding, margin, this video we're now going to dive deep into what we call the CSS Box Module, which is very simple to understand. Okay, after watching this video, you will never forget of the box module. All right, so let's begin. Let's talk of box module. All right, so the box module actually helps us understand how elements are laid out on the web browser. Now, every element on a web page has a box around it. Okay, have that in your mind. Every element on a web page, be it text, video, image, whatever text you can think of, has a box around it, and that is what we call box module. Okay, now let's take a look at an example, but this is an illustration showing you how the box module actually looks like. So first we have the main content, which is the white area, and outside it we have our padding, and then we have our border here. And I told you that our padding is the space between the main content and the border. So that is the space, which is padding. And then anything outside border is referred to as the margin. Okay, so that space from here now going is what we call margin. Let's go to our code editor and take it from there so we understand what the box module is. I'll take it to my code editor, and then I created an HTML file called boxmodule.html. I also created a CSS file which is empty at the moment. Perfect. So now we're going to understand the statement that every element has a box around it. Is that true? Let's find out. So first of all, we're going to look at h2 tag. So let's put h2 tag, and then we'll put content here. So we put content here. Good. So put content inside that h2, and then we come out, and then we'll have a p tag like this. We can also put text here as well. Okay, also put text here as well. Good. So we have h2 with text. We have our paragraph, which is p tag with text. Now let's see if it's true that every element has a box around it. Good. So now we're going to give our h2 a style, and p a style. So simply go to our style.css, and then we'll give h2. Okay, so put h2, and then we're going to give it a background. So just put background color of something like yellow, like this. And then we'll go to our p tag. Now with our p tag, we're going to give it a border. Okay, so let's give that one a border. So we put p, and then we're giving it, we get length of borders. Okay, so our border is going to have something like 2 pixels, solid, and then we can give it like a color red. Good. So now let's go to our web browser and see whether they will have boxes around them. Right, so I'll take you to the web browser, and then we simply reload this page, and what just happened, you can see we didn't apply any box attribute in CSS, but you can see automatically there's this box, something like a rectangle box covering our text. Okay, and also when we applied the border, we also have another box inside it. okay, with our text inside it. So that's the box module. Very simple. So the box module states that every element has a box around it. Okay, so that is it from our example. That indicates that box module is that box that surrounds our main content. Okay, so our box module is made up of different parts. It's made up of different parts. We looked at it, but we have to go back there with our illustration. So these are the parts. First, the main content, padding, border, and then margin. Let's understand box module further with the help of our code editor. So I'll take you to my code editor, and then I'm going to create a box. Okay, so with the help of a div, I'll simply put div, and then I'm going to give it a class, and this class will be big box. Okay, so big box, like this. So that's how you write div. That's a short way of writing div. And then you open it up like this, and inside here we're going to enter another div. Okay, so put another div like this, dot, and then I'll put small box. Okay, so small box, hit enter. All right, I created a big div, and that one I named it big box. Inside it I created another div, and with a class small box. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this 4 times like this. Perfect. Now we're going to style our big box, so I'll take you to CSS, and then because it's a class, we put dot, and we'll put big box. So we put big box there, and then we're going to style this particular big box. Let's first of all give it a background color. Okay, so we're first of all going to give it something like a border. Okay, so we'll give it a border of something like 2 pixel. Okay, so 2 pixel, solid red, like this. Good. Next, let's give it a width. Okay, because it's going to be a box, so we're giving it a width of something like 800 pixels. Next, let's give it a height. Okay, so we're giving it a height of 400 pixels. Now let's go to our web browser, and then reload, and now you can see we have this big box. Okay, perfect. Now let's shift it to the middle. Okay, because it's too close to our browser, the edge of our browser. We don't want that, so we'll give it a margin. So we need a universal selector. Come down like this, and then we'll go back up there and put the star character. Then we open it up like this, and then I'm going to give it a padding like 0 pixels. Okay, and then I'm going to give it a margin of, let me give it something like 50 pixels. Okay, 50 pixels, and then we go to our web browser and reload. Now you can see the box has been pushed to the middle a little bit. Okay, so now let's go ahead and then create our small boxes. Okay, so to create our small boxes, you can see inside our HTML document we have these divs, okay, 4 of them with a class small box. Okay, so we're going to target the small box class. I'll come down like this and put dot, and then small box, and then I'll open it up. Now inside here we're going to give them background colors first. So first of all, give them a background color. So let's give it a background color of something like yellow. Okay, so background color of yellow like this. Good. Next we're going to give it a border. Okay, so something like border, and then with the border we're going to give it 4 pixel. Okay, so 4 pixel solid, and then something like, should we give it red or, okay, so let's give it green this way. Next we're going to give it a padding. So give it padding. We learned about patterns and margins, so this shouldn't be a case. So a pattern of something like 2 pixel pattern. Good. Next let's give it a margin. So margin, this margin, let's give it like 3 pixel margin. So 3 pixels. Perfect. So now let's go to our web browser and then see what's happening. Reload, and now you can see we have little boxes here, but the problem is we have not assigned height, okay, or width. Let me go back and see what is happening. All right, so you can see that we have not yet assigned height and width, and that's why they are looking that way. So we give them a width of like 200 pixels, and then we give them a height. Okay, so give them a height of something like 360 pixels. Now let's go back to our web browser and check, and now you can see our 4 boxes. Okay, see how they are looking, but I want them to be inside the what? Inside the big box. All right, so before we can achieve this, there's something you need to put in your mind. There's a formula. So let me take you to the code editor and then show you that formula. Perfect. So now let's come down a bit. All right, so to get the total length, okay, of one box, all right, there's this formula. Okay, so the total is going to be equal to, okay, the width of that particular what box. Okay, and in this case our width is 200, so that means width like this, width plus, next you look at the patterns of it, because our box is not only made of the width. Let me take you back there. Our box is not only made up of the width. Okay, the width is that yellow area from here to here, but this green line is also part of the box, but this is the border. Okay, it's a border, so that means you add the right border and the what? The left border. Okay, so we go ahead and then we add our right border and then left what? Border. That is not all. We will still add, let's go back to our web browser. So we just added, first we added the total width of it, which is the yellow part. We have added the left border and the right border. Good. So there's still something we have not yet added, which is padding of it. we still need to add padding of it, because the box is not alone, it's coming or is moving with its padding and its margin. So we'll still add the padding and the margin left and right. Okay, so we'll add right margin, and then what, left margin. That is not all. There's something we call padding. So you add what, the left padding and the right padding to get the full width of it. Okay, so that's how it works. So you put right padding and then left what, padding, in order to get the total width of the box. Okay, so now in order to let our elements enter inside, okay, because after we are able to get or figure out the total length of this box, then getting the total length of this big box will be very easy. Okay, you simply multiply it by the total number of them, 4. Now, how do we fix these boxes inside our 800 wide container, this big box? How do we fix them inside? We'll go back to our code editor, and then all we need to do to float our items. Okay, so put float, go to float left. Okay, so put float left, and then we'll go back to our web browser, reload, and as you can see, our items are inside. 3 of them are actually inside, 1 is outside. This is as a result of our extra spaces, and that is margins here, and because of that, our total length is more than the total length of the container. That is why it's not able to enter. So technically, we are supposed to subtract the margins, the padding, and the border, okay, the length of it from each box. That way it will be able to enter. So let's go ahead and then see how that works. Okay, so I'll simply come down here and explain to you what I'm talking about. Okay, so first of all, we are supposed to deduct 4 pixel border from left and right of each box. We're also deducting 2 pixel padding left and right from each box. We're also deducting 3 pixel margin left and right from each box. Let's go ahead and do the math here. So with the border, 4 pixel left and right will give you 8 pixel. So put 8 pixel plus 2 pixel left and right padding will give us 4 pixel. Okay, so 4 pixel plus, and finally our margin, which is 3 pixel left and right, will give you 6 pixel. So 6 pixel, and total will give you 18 pixel. Okay, so 18 pixel. So we are deducting 18 pixel like this, 18 pixel from the total width of this particular width. Okay, so when you deduct from it, you get 182. Okay, so remove everything, and then we put 182 inside. Now let's go to our web browser And then now let's reload this page, and now you can see that our 4 boxes are fit. They are now inside the main container without problems, the same way you do to the height of it. Okay, you also apply the same method to the height if you want the height to take the full width of the container. So this is a problem in CSS, in the earlier version of CSS, but now they have come out with different methods to solving this problem. Because right now, if we should go and change something, let's say this 2 pixel to something like 4 pixel, now our boxes will have problems fitting inside this big box. And that's why the newer version of CSS, that's now CSS 3, things are a lot better there. So that is it. That's all about the box module. Hoping to see you in my next episode, where we'll be talking about a lot of cool stuff concerning CSS. If you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, consider subscribing. That way, anytime content like this is released, you are notified. I'll see you there. Take care.